T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, guys? How's everyone doing? Man, it's been a while since I jumped on here and just shot the shit. Was sitting here tonight watching the Rants cast there, watching Ferry and Derek talk, and they got me going. What else is new? I'm like, I want to say something. And then I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just jump on here with whoever's still awake and goof around? Patton, what's going on? Karen, how are you? Oh man, everyone's making it out there in clown world right now. Like, what a joke. I can't even believe this shit's going on. How is all of this still going on? You know, it doesn't even seem real. Rachel Gilmore is trending on Twitter. Monkeypox is trending on Twitter. C21 is trending on Twitter. Let's go have a look at this clown show. Okay. So this was going on today. Police seized 62 firearms in Toronto. 57 of them came from the United States of America, and only one of them was from Ontario, and it was stolen a year ago. But, you know, guns are bad, and this is this big, terrible crime going on here that's so overwhelming. You know, this is what distracts the masses. This is what distracts the people when there's real crimes going on, like these politicians and the media and all this collusion and coercion that's gone on for 2 years straight. It's ridiculous. So this is what these people are up to today. How liberal is that of Mendocino? Literally brings up a point. How do you take away from that point? How do you distract everybody? Oh, you just drop it right there, pull out your victim card, throw it on the fucking table, and try and make everybody feel sorry for what's gone on here. We get it. Everyone empathizes with what happened there. Okay. Everyone's on the same page with that. But you're using this, which is disgusting. It's vile. You use this as a distraction to move away from the question and take everyone's attention and throw it on this. Have you guys have had no sound the entire time? Can you hear me now? Oh, the video audio is low. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, now tell me. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. Tell me if you can hear it playing now.
Not only is Christmas dinner going to be especially expensive if you buy it at the grocery store, now the government wants to ban people in rural countrysides from actually hunting for their turkey. They've targeted a long list of hunting rifles and shotguns with a sweeping ban that's being widely condemned by experts, by hunters, and by First Nations people. Now, the government has admitted in recent testimony that the ban will apply to hunting rifles. Contrary to prior talking points, will they reverse this ban?
The Honourable Minister of...
Okay, so let's take a dive in here. This guy finally brings it up. Finally. Like, hello, you only waited for all of Canada to jump on board. Okay, so he brings it up. What do you think Marco Mendocino is going to do? He's going to use a bunch of people's death to glorify a political message. He's going to use a crisis, a tragedy, whatever you want to call it. He's going to fucking use that as an opportunity to spew his political rhetoric.
Safety. Mr. Speaker, before I come to the answer of that question, tomorrow we're marking the 33rd anniversary of the Polytechnic Institute shooting tragedy. To the families of the victims and to the survivors, we stand with you. We know that despite the passage of time, that the hurt and the loss never completely heals. We owe it to you and to all victims and all Canadians to end gun violence once and for all, Mr. Speaker, and I hope all members in this chamber will join me in a moment of solidarity. Thank you. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Well, of course, we are all in solidarity in ending violence committed with guns. In fact, today we saw an example of the real problem. Police seized 62 firearms in Toronto. 57 of them came from the United States of America. Only one of them was from Ontario, and it was stolen over a year ago. The problem is not the hunter who in Wainwright, Alberta, or Happy Valley, Goose Bay in the East Coast is using his tools to feed his family. The problem is illegal guns coming across the border. Why won't they reinforce our border instead of attacking our hunters?
The Honourable Minister. Mr. Speaker, my Conservative colleague asks, what's the government doing to reinforce our borders? Investing $450 million over the last 2 years alone, Mr. Speaker, to add more boots to the ground for the CBSA, to add more state-of-the-art technology for the CBSA, to allow them to build on the progress that they've made in seizing illegal guns at the border. And what did the Conservatives do at every moment where they had a chance to support those resources to the CBSA? They voted against. The Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
The results of their policy is a 32% increase in violent crime, a massive 92% increase in gang murders. No matter how expensive their policies are, and no matter how much they target law-abiding hunters, it's not getting the job done to protect our people. Donc, pourquoi le gouvernement ne veut-il pas?
Why doesn't the government want to help when it comes to targeting real crime instead of targeting our hunters and farmers? The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Pierre and Lanceman got the same
Mr.
haircut
Speaker,
going on there,
that's
eh?
exactly what our government is doing. We have already invested $450 million to strengthen our border to help the Border Services Agency. And that's exactly what we're doing with our legislation to increase penalties for criminals. Why won't the Conservatives support that bill if they want to target organized crime?
Interesting. What else do we have going on here? Yeah, that was pretty cool. Montreal Canadiens, that's my hockey team. Until this world turned to shit, that's all I used to love to do was watch hockey. And, Carey Price took a stance, and he posted a picture of himself with his hunting rifle, and he, put it out there. And we need more. This is what you need more of. You need more real people, more people who aren't, just controlled, like people who actually care about Canada and our values and what we're about. What else did I want to click on here? Let's go over here to the Twitter. I put a post up. Okay, so, here it is. It's on my thing here. Okay, so Grant LaFleche. Anybody who doesn't know who this is, he's a journalist who lives in St. Catharines. He might have moved now, but this man, back in the day, there was a lady in Niagara named Alicia Herder. If you weren't around and you didn't know her then, and she kept her business open during the lockdowns. She owned a place called Chrome Artistic Salon. She cut people's hair. She was a beautiful human being. She's amazing. She's the heart behind the resistance in Niagara. And she's just this great person. Now, when we were going through everything we were going through in Niagara, it was insane. She put a post up at one point calling for our chief medical officer of health, who is Dr. Mustafa Herji, to get fired. She put a post up that said, "Fire Herji." Okay. After she put this post up, somebody commented on the post, and they were being facetious, and they said something along the lines of, "Put his head on a stick." Again, I've spoke with the person who made the comment. Sorry, I didn't speak with the person. My friend spoke with the person, and they're friends with this person. And the guy was being facetious, joking around. Anyways, what happened is all Alicia did was post a picture, and somebody else commented something on it. And then Grant, who's one of the biggest journalists in Canada, went to Torstar Media, and he wrote a big, huge headline out that said, Alicia Herder from this barbershop called for, and I don't even want to say it because they'll probably consider it violence on YouTube and it'll get taken down and Facebook here. But you know what? They said that she called for his, and this was the furthest thing from the freaking truth, man. And after this guy did this, you know what happened? The Prime Minister jumped in and gave his piece and took to Twitter. And then the Premier, Doug Ford, jumped in and took to Twitter. And then all of the people around here with municipal government, they jumped in and took to Twitter. Who do you think got bullied and turned into a target real quick? My friend Alicia. She had to flee this country. She had to get on a plane and leave because the Prime Minister put a tweet out, the Premier put a tweet out, the municipal government put a tweet out, and everyone kept retweeting it. And people started to threaten her life because of you. People started to threaten her life, and she had to take off and move to a different country, all because of what you've done, all because of your lies, all because of the propaganda rag that you report to. This is all on you. And now, when people finally have the opportunity to talk to you guys, to call you guys out, you pull out your victim card and you start crying about harassment. You are the biggest bullies. You have been the biggest bullies all along. You guys let me know if you think this video is harassment. This man writes articles about me. This guy does tweets about me every day, and he blocks me, and I can't even engage back in him. So who's harassing who? He's pulling his card out, telling everyone I harass him.
How come you write articles about me? How come you write articles about me and then block me? How do you deal with yourself, man? Pretty good. Have a good day, Mr. Freeman. You too. Keep doing you, right? Keep being a part of all this. Shame.
Kind of, yeah.
Grant, isn't journalism reaching out to people and getting both sides of the story, or no? Or do you just put whatever you want all the time, ruin people's lives, not give a shit about anything? Just go along with this whole bullshit. You ever want to reach out to me and ask questions, you can, or you could just keep posting shit about me all the time. Never ask me anything. Because that's how it works. When you're a slave to the system and you do what you do, that's how it works. Everything's Grant's story. It's not what's really going on in the world. And you can sit there and pretend like it doesn't bug you. But I do bug you. And it's because of everything you've done to every single person around us. Alicia, Cullen, Shandor, myself, and you're going to pay for it financially. And you know you are. Doesn't matter if you get fired from Niagara, move to Hamilton. We know everything when it comes to that, Grant.
Yeah. So now, you know, he's going on. I'd love to show you guys, but of course I'm blocked from his page. But he's going on and he's crying victim that, you know, he gets harassed. So we're talking about a dude here who has just absolutely ruined people's lives and made it not safe for them to live. And then he runs around and cries victim when I finally seen him in person and I was able to ask him a couple questions. Because, you know, I can on the internet. I can't phone in and get a response. I can't email him and get a response. None of that will work. So I finally seen you in person and I went up to you to ask you some questions, and that's harassment. Get over yourself. Now, check this out, guys. I seen this in, I don't want to take credit for this. I yanked this right off of War Campaign's channel, Row. If you guys don't follow the War Campaign, you definitely want to go check out War Campaign. They're killer shit. These guys, they're very intelligent. They put a lot of good things out there. So, ever feel like the deck is stacked? Senators listing order by mandatory retirement date. 58 of 89 senators have been appointed by Justin Trudeau. What happens when all the checks and balances fall? The House, the Senate, Judiciary, and the media. You will tell me. But look, I started looking at these and I was scoping them out. Look right here. Like all these people, these are all senators in Canada. Look who appointed them. Trudeau, 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 Trudeau. And when it isn't Trudeau, who do you think signed us on with the globalists, guys? Harper, 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 Harper. Now, you know what? I don't want to get you guys down, you know, like you don't fear nothing. You let go of that shit. But you're looking at it right here. Trudeau and Harper have the Senate completely stacked since they signed on to this. And that's the truth. Trying to see what else. Oh, this was good too. Oh, yeah. Did you guys see this last night? So last night, CTV News comes out with this article, if you haven't seen it yet. And
back federal government's.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's going to explain itself. But CTV comes out with a poll, right? A few weeks ago, they're like, oh, you know, do you support Canada invoking the Emergency Measures Act or whatever? Yes or no? I can't recall the exact poll. You'll see it in this video, but I think it was like 80% said no. So what does CTV do? They go and they find a different outlet who did the same poll on a liberal platform that asked 1,000 liberals, and then they went and posted that data because their data didn't come back with the numbers that would help them and their political gain.
You really can't make this stuff up. Most Canadians back federal government's invocation of Emergencies Act during Freedom Convoy protests. Is that so? Well, it's a damn good thing some people keep receipts around here because it's not the truth. 78% of people said no. Stop fucking lying to. You really can't make this stuff up. Most Canadians back federal government.
Yeah, I think you guys are done being lied to too. I think we all are. Oh yeah, we can go over this quick. I'm just basically jumping on right now, guys, for like 45 minutes. I figured, you know what? If anybody else is up, why not? We'll jump on here. We'll shoot the shit. We'll show some videos. So God bless all you beautiful women last night. Well done, mothers. Everyone who was outstanding strong for our children in Toronto, may you be blessed. Thank you for doing God's work. Thanks for being there. You know, this is just beautiful to see. I was I was almost in tears when I seen this. That's powerful. Yeah, that's pretty special, man. Shout out to Monique. I know, Monique, you put a lot of time and effort into that. Monique's been she's amazing, guys. She's been a big voice for this movement around here locally for a long time now. She always gives everything her all. Oh, we got Ferry and Derek up here. I shared this last night. You know, this isn't anything. I'm going to share it right now. This isn't anything to go nuts over, but, you know, Ferry just makes a good point. And this is something I've tried to tell everyone for a while now. He goes on in this video to just talk about how, you know, you guys want to beat a culture war, create your own stuff, create your own content. It really is working. It really is. All these people, like, nobody knows, like all of us, you know, everyone's popping out of nowhere. And, you know, do it. Do it, because that's how you got to win this culture war, guys. He's right. You know, you got to be a part of the resistance, man, and you got to embrace it, what it is that you're about. Take that freedom all on and lift the fear away. Don't be afraid of nothing. Oh, I gotta fuck.
You want to win the culture war? Just start producing your own stuff. And more people are, and good. Like, it's working.
Yeah, you look at the guys like Uncle Hack, fucking Plaid Army as well, all the different creators.
There's tons of people doing this stuff now, and they're doing it better than the mainstream. And same with journalism. There's people that are just, you know, covering shit that are doing a much better job than the mainstream media is. You know why? Because they're not spinning it. They're literally just reporting it.
They're not looking to hide certain stories, and it's so fucking obvious. You have to be in on it.
Do. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? Edgar, my goodness, I can hardly operate this phone. Never owned a laptop or PC in my life, I believe it. Oh, that's funny. Pat King. Oh, man. Do you guys remember this testimony? Man, maybe should I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Should we go through a couple parts of the Pat King cross examination or move on to something else? This is a vote for the comments. Well, this is a good one. You guys want to see a song that Rachel came out with this weekend I created? You know, she's got this great new jam.
Keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask.
I've been so goddamn grateful for Zoloft. For Zoloft.
You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should keep wearing a mask.
Zoloft. For Zoloft.
Sing Teresa Tams. Sing Teresa Tams. Sing Teresa Tams. Should keep wearing a mask. Booster if you haven't already. Keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask.
I've been so goddamn grateful for Zoloft. For Zoloft.
You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should get a booster if you haven't already. Keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask.
I've been so goddamn grateful for Zoloft. For Zoloft.
You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should get a booster if you haven't already. You should keep wearing a mask.
Zoloft. For Zoloft.
Sing Teresa Tams. Sing Teresa.
Yeah.
Tams. Should keep wearing a mask. Booster
That's
if you
right,
haven't
Rachel. That's a beat. That's a
keep wearing
dope beat.
mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask. Should keep wearing a mask.
I miss Pat. I got to meet him when we all were in Ottawa. Well, I can have you know that Mr. Pat is doing as good as he can right now. He is in pretty decent spirits for the amount of things that Pat is going through. Better days are coming for Pat. I can assure you that. I have met him myself many times. Good guy, nothing but good memories. What else do we got? Come on, Twitter. Let's just do a quick run through Twitter. We'll see if there's anything worth watching. Uh-oh, notifications. What did I do? Oh, another Kanye. Oh, Kanye West was on with Gavin McInnes today. Oh, I got to watch that after. Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. Jeremy McKenzie got on Twitter tonight, guys. And literally like a couple hundred people at him, and boom, they kick him off like an hour or two later. I did not hear why. But yeah, interesting. Curious to learn a little bit more about that. Oh, this was a good one. Hey, Rachel Gilmore, remember that time that Antifa doxed me? They shared my job, personal name, and even my hometown on Twitter against my consent, all because I stood up for a veteran you were calling a white supremacist. Yeah, this is when she was calling James Topp a white supremacist. Like, this woman right here is delusional. She's not okay. Yeah. Pretty shitty stuff. All right, guys. Well, you know, I wanted to get into some talk about the journos and that, but I'm not going to get into it tonight because I want to do a long one.
I'm
going to
be asking you.
I think I'm actually going to get prepped on it. So, how's it going, Brad? But maybe we should go to the best part of Pat's thing before we sign off, guys.
Questions to give you an opportunity to explain.
His cross-examination. Or wait, is it this one? Come on now.
Mr. King, my name is Paul Champ.
Oh, here we go, right here.
Ottawa Coalition of Residents and Businesses of Ottawa.
Get ready. Okay, think about what he just said. You know, everyone fucking hates this clown. Like, he was just a goof during the thing. But the best here, he's like, Pat King knows exactly who this is and what he's done to him. Watch. I love it. Pat's like, you took my son's fucking education away from him. You took all my money.
First, for cross-examination, the convoy organizers, please.
Good evening, Mr. Commissioner. Bathsheba Vandenberg, Council for Freedom Corps and protesters. We have no questions for Mr. King. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, the Ottawa Residents Coalition, please.
Yeah, I got 10 questions. It's me, Paul Champ. Tax the rich and get on board with being a beta boy. Here's my mask, Pat. Have a look at my mask. I want to piss you off before I ask you questions.
Mr. King, my name is Paul Champ. I'm a lawyer for the Ottawa Coalition of Residents and Businesses of Ottawa.
Oh, you guys are the guys that got my bank account. That's still frozen after 9 months.
That's all. Just give us a call. Now,
you took my kids' college tuition. I hope you're proud.
We're talking about the funds in your Alberta Treasury branch.
Oh, you're very familiar with my bank account.
There you go. How many e-transfers? How many e-transfers did you get into that account, Mr. King?
All of them.
So people across Canada are donating for your child's education fund. That's what it was for?
No.
Okay. You were raising money for the Freedom Convoy trip. Is that right?
For myself.
Okay.
If people wanted to donate, they could.
Okay. And they donated up to $100,000 to you. Is that right?
No.
How much?
I have no idea.
You don't know. So you don't know if it was $100,000 or not.
I have no idea. You got my bank accounts frozen.
Okay. Well, you can check the court records. You raised $100,000 for yourself.
Wow. Then give me it back so I can live.
No. I will ask you to be removed if this doesn't stop. You've been very good so far. Please.
I'm sorry, sir.
And I don't think you're helping. Just answer the questions and we'll get through this properly. This isn't supposed to be a show. It's supposed to be a questions and answers. And I realize you feel quite
I apologize.
Strongly about things.
I apologize. I did take that wrong. I apologize,
Mr. King.
Mr. Champ.
Yeah, myself as well. Mr. King, I'd just like to ask you about the 2019 United Re-Roll convoy. You've told us that was a successful protest. Is that right?
100%, yeah.
It was. You organized a number of people, you and others, Mr. Carrot and others. You got a number of trucks together, including semi-truck trailers. You came across Canada. You got a lot of media all the way across Canada, came through Ottawa and generated a lot of attention to your issues, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, a successful protest.
100%.
Yeah. Then the
even with Mr. Trudeau's involvement in the Freedom of Information, where he sent 2,000 anti-protesters to come slash our tires.
Right. So for the Freedom Convoy protest in February, why did you stay for so long?
Why?
Yeah.
Because I exercised my democratic right to freedom of peaceful protest and a freedom of assembly. Because I'm Canadian and I have that democratic right.
Now, Mr. King, where did you said you stayed at the Holiday Inn, is that right?
Yeah, for like 4 or 5 days, yeah.
And then where did you stay?
In Gatineau.
Okay, that's what we had heard Ms. Belton testified. She thought you were staying in a hotel out of downtown. I guess the horns were getting to you downtown. Is that why you changed hotels?
Not at all.
Why did you change hotels?
Because your community decided to pull the pin on lodgings and hotels for people, and we were told they were no longer going to allow us to rent a room because the community had basically told the hotels, if you support these guys and give them a room, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's from the manager of the Holiday Inn who told me that. So I'm sorry, Mr. King, we can't give you another room. I said, that's fine. I get it. No problem. It sucks to be you guys because you're making a killing. And the money that you guys are generating from all of us being here is probably the best for you guys to recoup those funds after 2 years of being shut down.
Why didn't you go to the Ark Hotel or the Sheraton Hotel or the Swiss Hotel? There was lots of rooms there.
I didn't need a hotel.
Okay. And who paid for your hotels while you were in Ottawa, Mr. King?
Me.
Pardon me?
Me.
With the donations that you got to make the trip?
Sure.
Okay.
Are you speculating that or?
No, I'm asking you. You're the person I'm asking.
It didn't sound like a question, that's all.
It was a question.
Okay.
And are you answering yes? That's how you...
Yeah, me, yeah, I paid for it. Sorry.
You paid for it, so I apologize. You got donations to come here, and it's with those donations that you paid for the hotel rooms. Is that right? And there's other people who were supporters of you, who you also assisted in getting funds to pay for their hotel rooms. So like in fairness, you were raising money to help others as well, correct?
When I got money donated, I gave it away.
Absolutely. And you were also working with Mr. Barber and the others about getting funds for other people that you helped bring to Ottawa, is that right?
And what do you mean, like funds?
Like to pay for hotels for other people who were supporters.
Anybody who needed help or anybody who needed money, I was open. If you needed money, come talk to me, I would help you.
And you would sometimes connect with Mr. Barber and Ms. Leach to see if they could assist funds as well, is that right?
I barely saw Tamara and Chris.
You communicated regularly with Mr. Barber throughout?
Maybe text messages, yeah.
Yeah, through text.
I never saw them.
Okay.
They were busy, man. These guys were like, wow. What they had going on over there, you can have it.
Did Mr. Barber, Ms. Leach ever talk to you about trying to get the truckers to lay off their horns?
They asked me to see what I can do, and I said, yeah, I'll do what I can. And that's when I put the post out. I believe we had been threatened with some injunction or something. I still wasn't very familiar at the time, but they said, do what you can to get the guys to stop. And I did. I put out a post. I said, stop honking horns. And actually, as part of my evidence package, that there's 2 videos. One of the videos actually has me on the street on that evening on Wellington stating, listen, you wouldn't know, you have no idea where I'm at. And it was the most quietest, most eerie place because there was no more horns anymore.
Now, with respect to the slow roll around the airport or to the airport, I take it that was just, it was your board, we heard that, but it was also a little bit of a message to the city of Ottawa, is that right? That the vehicles could move and move to other areas of the city if provoked?
No.
Why did you choose that day? Was it because the police had just done the raid at Coventry?
No.
You made it down to Coventry a number of times, is that right?
Every day.
Every day. You were a popular figure there, I gather?
I wouldn't say popular. That's where I went and ate breakfast.
And how you were there often, do you know where the fuel was coming from into Coventry?
From grateful patriots and Canadian citizens that were donating it.
Sure, but like, can you give us any specific names of those grateful patriots?
Joe Smith, number one. I have no idea.
You have no idea, or you don't want to answer?
I don't remember names. I meet people all day long, constantly. I don't remember names. If you have a specific person in particular that you want to give me his name, and I'll let you know if I know him or if I conversed with them. Are you talking the guys that got arrested after they were told they weren't going to be arrested, that were running fuel?
You knew some of those guys?
Yeah.
You knew some of those guys personally?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were very upset.
Well, look what you did. You told them we're not going to arrest. Not you, sorry. They were told they weren't going to get arrested.
Right.
And then they left and they got pulled over down the road and got arrested. Or got charged, got a fine for whatever. And I remember that night because the OPS came in and like tried to flex or whatever. And because these guys didn't know what was going on, they asked me to come down. And I said, I'm not coming down there. Not a chance. But I went down the next morning to make sure the calm, cool heads had prevailed. And on that morning, that's when the RCMP Special Response Task Force, well, they were staying at the Marriott, and they came down. One of the officers came down to me, said, Pat, you're not hot mic'd or anything. And I said, no, I don't got nothing on. Why? Who are you? And he introduced himself, and he said, I just want you to know about last night. That wasn't our call. And I want you to know that the RCMP, we met with legal and lawyers, and that we are not going to do this to you guys because they can't give us a justification of why we should be evicting you or arresting people. So I'm sorry for what happened last night. And I said, well, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, we fought with lawyers to give us justification of why we should be arresting these people. They couldn't give us a clear answer. So we're leaving. I said, you're leaving? He says, yeah, we're going to Windsor. And they went to Windsor to break down whatever was happening at the border.
So you were in communication with people who were involved at the Windsor blockade?
No.
So you talked to people who
The
went to
police
Windsor?
officer was leaving.
Oh, the police, the OPP. So they
were leaving Ottawa.
Right.
Because the lawyers couldn't give them a justification of arresting people.
Right.
And they said, we're not going to break the law.
Right.
So whoever is in charge of them sent them to Windsor.
So the people who were got tickets that night and arrested were upset. You were upset by that, and that's one of the reasons why you organized the slow roll around the airport of Ottawa. Is that
Not
right?
at all. No.
What did you do because you were upset about that?
I went and made sure everybody was calm and cool and everybody was understanding, like these guys got a job to do. Understand that, yeah, that was rude, that was ignorant, and just be more cautious when you're dealing with the police.
Now, Mr. King, you obviously could not and did not know everyone who was in Ottawa during that protest, right?
No, there was millions of people.
Well, thousands anyway, for sure.
Hundreds of thousands. Let's not undersell it. There was a lot of people here.
We'll agree to disagree. There weren't hundreds of thousands, but it was a bit of a dangerous situation with all those people downtown. Would you agree?
Dangerous in what way?
Well, dangerous. You don't know what people might have in their trucks. You don't know what they might do. They're very upset. They're very angry. Was that a dangerous situation for downtown?
Not at all.
Okay.
I met the most loving, most caring, most loving people, Canadian citizens. Everywhere you went, you were getting hugs, you were getting handshakes, and
well, then
nobody was violent.
Why did you need security then yourself? It was so dangerous that you yourself needed security. Isn't that right?
Because the liberal left trolls were threatening my life.
Okay, so that was dangerous, right?
For me.
Just for you. You're the only person in downtown Ottawa who is at risk. Is that right?
Actually, I was the most highly protected person in Ottawa because we had I think they had delegated 8 police officers to follow me around everywhere.
So, Mr. King, we've heard evidence that many federal elected officials, the mayor of Ottawa, had received death threats. We've heard evidence that someone was actually arrested with firearms who was coming to Ottawa, who had been making threats about.
Do you have a record of that? Do you have a?
Who had been? I'm asking the questions, Mr. King.
Sorry.
So, but you would agree with me that it was probably a dangerous situation for elected officials in Ottawa?
It was a dangerous place for us. People were dropping marbles from high rises. They were throwing eggs. Citizens of Ottawa were threatening to run us
Mr.
over.
King, you yourself said that someone who was maybe stressed out because of lockdowns and so forth might be compelled to shoot Mr. Trudeau. So you understood and recognized that that was a risk, right?
That was months before the convoy.
Also, but everyone was all, they were all settled down by the time the convoy came and there was no threats to anyone.
I've never seen anything more loving and peaceful in my life. Right. It was Woodstock.
So the only person who was at risk in Ottawa was Pat King. All the other threats to anyone else in Ottawa were all fake. Is that right?
I don't know. I can't speak on those. You know, my lawyer has been given death threats and bomb scares because she represents me. Do you know that my friends have been, their children have been threatened because of, from Ottawa? Do you know that, and I hate to say this, but this town is full of a bunch of people who really don't like people who speak out.
I disagree, Mr. King. Ottawa has dozens of large protests, many much larger than the one that you organized every single year.
I've been here for it.
I'm not sure that was a question.
Well, Mr. Commissioner,
can I just
I'll just note, Mr. Commissioner, I'll just note for the record that the people of Ottawa got one morning in this proceeding. We've had a week of all of these convoy organizers given a full platform to say whatever they want. The people in Ottawa respect the right to protest, and these folks are getting their time to say everything they want.
Can I say one? Sorry.
I'm sorry. Just I'm going to stop this. You'll get. Yeah. Hey,
please.
Could you ask have him? I'm going to take a break while you remove the person.
I'm sorry, sir.
Service has no questions. Thanks very much, Commissioner.
Okay, the Ontario Provincial Police.
The OPP has no questions. Thank you, Commissioner.
Counsel for former Chief Slowly.
We don't have any questions. Thanks.
The Government of Canada.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. King, my name is Kathleen Tanner and I'm counsel for the Government of Canada. I just have one short area of questions based on a video that had been played earlier for you. And it was a video that I believe had been recorded on February 12th after some information had come through about some pamphlets or some letters that had been passed around to the drivers. And you had made a video recording telling other drivers that it was a lie, that it was fake news, to hold the ground, stand the line. And later on in that video, and if you'd like, we could bring it up or we could just walk through it. I understand that you referenced the information that's at stake there is a letter which mentions Ms. Leach's name. And later on in that video, you mentioned that Ms. Leach would never do something like this and you knew her well and you had good communications. And so this wasn't going to be something coming from her. So my question is, did you have any meetings with the city of Ottawa while you were in Ottawa?
No, I did not.
And were you aware of any meetings that Ms. Leach or other representatives of the convoy may have had with anybody from Ottawa?
No, I tended to stay away from that.
And prior to releasing this video, did you make any attempts to reach out to Ms. Leach to confirm whether or not this letter may or may not be accurate?
I may or may have, and I believe that we were all kind of confused. We didn't know if it was legitimate.
All right, guys. I don't know. We just came on here to horse around for a bit and look at some crap that I had pulled up. Thought we'd see what's going on. Just about getting to that time, though. Yeah, I was gonna come on Indy here and get into the journalist stuff I want to get into, but you know what, guys? I'm gonna save it for tomorrow because I got a lot to say, so I don't want to get it all out tonight. It's a lot, you know. Breaking: people being asked to leave the heated debate at Hamilton Wentworth School Board meeting on mask mandate. Excuse me.
People are welcome. People are welcome.
Ooh. They did pass the mask mandate in Hamilton. Wow, that's disgusting. I should probably find out when mine is for Niagara. That's for damn sure. All right, guys, I'm going to sign off for the night. This was just kind of like an impromptu jump on for a few minutes and goof around. But yeah, just thanks for jumping on, guys. I'm going to start coming on, I think, twice a week, and I'm going to get my shit together, and this is going to be a lot more organized, and we'll have a different layout and whatnot and go through a show together. So we'll do that shortly, but until then, have a good one. Good night.